The album is in Europe. It's released on today, April 1st. Have you listened the album as a complete, as a whole piece already, or?
Yeah, I was lucky enough for a courier to knock on my door with this giant parcel, and it was like 20 vinyls of my record with a big gatefold, and I was pretty excited. My friend lived down the road. My stylist wasn't working. I think it was just too much fluff on it, too much fur, and so I ran over to his house with a gatefold and listened to it. But I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm interested in performing it live now, so that's where my head is at right now.
Is it difficult to be critical about your own?
It's pretty
stuff?
easy. I think you're always kind of striving for something more, and you know. But I think that's healthy, just to keep developing, or else you're just going to be stagnant and just do the same album. You know, there's room to grow, and I think that's really good.
A couple of years ago, you've made a trip through the USA.
Yeah.
Which is said to be had some influence on this album as well. Is that really true, or is that just something that's?
No, it was very true. I mean, growing up in London was very. Well, I don't know. I needed a change of scene, but I still liked really big cities. I didn't want to go somewhere very small, so I thought I'd go to New York and go to LA. I'd been there as a kid and stayed there with the family, and I loved it. I really loved it. So I knew I'd be going back out there, and it had a big influence. I did a lot of traveling with a very heavy guitar, and I did a lot of traveling.
Yeah. Do you have traveled recently? Some other big trips, or I don't have the time?
No. It's lovely to be in Amsterdam. I get to travel here, get to do some shows. So, yeah, I get to do a lot in Europe now, which is really good.
Yeah, but I guess that are mostly shows. But do you have to?
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, for example, I've got a couple of days off after I've finished all my promoing and my shows and so on. So I'll get to stay in Amsterdam for a few days, and maybe there'll be some nice weather. I might even write a positive tune. You never know. Something upbeat.
Because how important is meeting new people for a singer-songwriter like you?
I think it's, well, not necessarily new people, but new experience anyway. I think that's what's kind of important.
So, the without you being around, traveling around, there maybe wouldn't be any songs, or is that maybe a little bit too much?
I'd never want to force the songwriting. I'm not in a drastic need of searching for the next song. I've got a lot of notebooks that require a lot of attention already. So I'm quite happy with what I need to do for the next record, and in a happy place.
Is that next record already in your mind, or?
It's always in my mind. It's always in my mind. Always the next thing. But the next thing for me, immediately at least, is I really want to perform the album now, and fingers crossed I'll get to do some work with the Metropole Orchestra here, and across Europe will be some really fun shows, and let's just pray we get some good weather.
Because the shows, is there already much rehearsal? Did you already do a lot of rehearsal, or is it just something that is really starting off at the moment right now?
I think it's really important to keep things really fresh and a kind of tightrope of knowing what is intended, but also allowing a little bit of interpretation and a little bit of freedom, or else it can just sound like a backing track, and you don't really want that. Each show needs to feel quite individual, so I like to keep it a little loose.
One last thing, I just Googled some news articles about you, and you performed in the show of Jules Holland. You've told that you really want to do something with Adele.
Okay.
Yeah. Or is that something? Isn't
No.
that
Well, it's very true. I mean, I did that show. It was a really amazing lineup, and I was always a big fan of Kings of Leon. I always think he's a great vocalist, really great vocalist. And Eric Clapton, if you're a guitarist, you kind of always have time for Eric Clapton. And Adele was in the crowd, and she gave a short interview with Jules Holland, and I thought, wow, it's quite a lineup over here. I'd really like to perhaps do a duet with her, but who wouldn't? She's a lovely vocalist.
Why would your voice be a match with her, do you think?
I think it'd be a fun thing to try. Yeah, it'd be a fun thing.
Well, who knows?
Who knows?
Thank
If you've
you.
got a number, give her a call.
Too bad.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
Pleasure.